Hello everyone, I'm here with Obi Nwankwo. Now there's, let's see, what is it? It's like 11 something on a Wednesday night.
On a Wednesday,
we're in LA. There's something about these late night pods that just, it's like going on a date during the day.
No more parties in LA.
No more parties in LA, brother. Hold on, let me intro you, brother. Let me intro you first. This is part of my setup. During the day, you go on a date, it doesn't really mean much, the lights out, whatever. As soon as you go on a date and the lights are out, it's dark out, all of a sudden, everything's just elevated. That's how I feel with late night podcasts. We had Pat Daly as a late night, and now we got Obi Nwankwo. So here's why I'm having Obi on. Obi, we ran track together at Boston College.
Yep.
He was a sprinter, I was a distance runner. This guy came out to LA. Last I saw, he was moving to LA. He said, I'm joining Accenture. I was like, okay, good for him. He's going to be a Johnny Pencil pusher like the rest of us. And then all of a sudden, I just start seeing this guy half naked on Instagram. And he's in these Snapchat reality TV videos. I was like, what the hell happened? Are you still at Accenture? So, Obi, how we doing, brother? Thanks for coming on.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Dude,
or me having you because you're at my crib.
Hey, hell yeah. We're 2 minutes away from Philip Kostelnick's place. He's a friend of the podcast. That's where I'm staying tonight because Obi's gonna be kicking me out after this.
Yep.
But so wait, you had an audition or no? You had to get something for an audition tonight, or where were you?
So I was at church, and then after church, I went to my friend's place to get some Adidas gear because I have a final round audition to be for Adidas print ads for the next 2 years.
Damn! So it's a 2-year contract.
Yeah. So it's 1 year and then an option for the second year.
Okay, but we all know it's gonna be 2.
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
If you want it to be. So, yeah, dude, I'm curious. You came out to LA, all the hope in your eyes. I'm gonna get my own desk. I'm gonna work for Accenture. I'm gonna change the world for Fortune 500 companies. And then, what happened? Was something in the water out here? Because you did a complete 180. What happened?
Yeah. So I think just growing up, I've always just been a people's person, and I've always been involved in sports. As an athlete, you think you're gonna make it one day, and
Right.
That's what you truly believe. If you're gonna be a good athlete, you think you're going to make it. That's the only thing that drives you at the end of the day. And so I've always idolized guys like Michael Jordan, LeBron, Jeremy Warner, Usain Bolt. And Jeremy Warner's a track and field 400-meter sprinter.
Yes, Adidas sponsored.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Yeah.
Little plug in there.
Right.
So these were some of my favorite athletes, and seeing them on TV, I always saw myself on TV. So it was during track in school. Going to BC, I studied finance and management, and then ran track, and then also started my own company. So the time just was never there to really pursue anything else.
Right.
And when I graduated BC, it was like this lift was off my shoulder, and I was like, after I graduated, the next couple of weeks were a little weird in the sense that I had all this freedom, but it also left me in this state of idleness because. Dude,
let me say something right there. So you're talking about idle, dude. I remember I stopped by a senior week. This was first of all, you guys got the 4x4 record, right?
Yeah,
at Boston
last
College.
race of the year.
Last race of the year. So
yeah.
I stopped by. Dude, I stopped by the mods at Boston College. Mods at Boston College.
14B.
14B. There we go, baby. I was 3 years outside of the game, but I still come back to the mods and hang out with the brothers.
Chill.
But dude, I remember talking to you. We were a little drunk. Whatever. We were chilling
doing our thing.
And I remember saying, dude, that 4x4, that's fucking amazing. Congratulations. And then you're like, dude, thank you. And then I remember you were just I still remember, dude, you were sitting there and you were just you were just kind of staring off, holy it was like the look was in your eyes. I did something big. This is awesome. But now that that's done, what's the next thing? It looked like you were like you said, a weight had been lifted and now you're on to the next thing. So the idleness hits you, and then what happens?
So the idleness kind of hit me, and after I graduated, I was eating what I wanted to.
Yes.
I was going out whenever I wanted to. Things that I never got to do in college on a consistent basis.
Right.
So I was like, wow, like this is amazing. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, after just being able to eat what I want, drinking all the time.
And are you in Boston at this point?
Yeah, I'm in Boston. Boston on the weekends, Rhode Island during the weekdays because my family lives there. So
right on.
I was spending a lot of time with my family, which was great.
Epic.
But it was weird because I felt like everything that I was doing wasn't going towards an upward path of like progress. It's like,
you mean eating whatever you want and just going out wasn't
Yeah.
leading anywhere, Brother Beast?
It wasn't like
Right.
for some people gets gratification from that, but
Sure,
for me,
sure.
I didn't feel any gratification from that, and I thought
Right.
I would. So I just like kind of went back to the drawing board and things that I've always said I wanted to do. I was like,
Right.
shit, I want to be a model. I want to act. I want to be an actor. I want to be on TV. I want to be like Will Smith. Like these
Right.
are the guys that Denzel, like guys I've absolutely idolized.
Right.
So I was like, so I contacted my friend John Vaughn, who also went to BC.
Yes, he's into modeling as well, right?
Yeah, so he's in the entertainment industry. He's doing photography, he's acting.
Right on.
But
Is he out in L.A.?
yeah, he's out in LA
Okay,
now.
cool.
Yeah, actually, he moved out here about a month ago. He was in Boston for a little bit.
Got it. Right on.
And I contacted John, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Like,
Right.
let's just like start taking photos or something. Like, let's just get this ball rolling.
Right.
So he was like the first person that was like 100% believed in me,
Right.
which has always been John. Like in high school, I didn't want to run track, and he was like, bro, you'd be so fast. Like you should do it.
Fucking
Damn.
love that.
Ended up running track, and then like senior year, like junior, senior year, I was like, shit, like I really want to go to like one of the best schools. Like he's like, bro, you can go to BC.
Right.
No one else thought I could go to BC.
Right.
Ended up happening.
Yes.
Got to BC. I was like, damn, I want to be like the best guy. Like I want to set all these records. I told him, I was like, I want the 300, 400, 4x4.
Right.
Like I also wanted the 200. I told him that. Never got that. But
Right.
still dropped to 21.9, so it's chill.
21.9, no big deal. 21.9 what, brother?
9.9.
There we go. 21.99. Okay, you just keep it 9.
Exactly.
Right on.
And he was like, you can do that. And then when I did this acting stuff, he's like, you can do that. So John's
Right.
always been that person that even when people doubted me, he was always just immediately was like, I 100% believe in you.
Right.
So me and John started working together, just taking photos, and then crazy the photos we took, I submitted them for a casting for ESPN and Core Power, which is Core Power is like a protein drink supplement or a protein drink. Yeah.
Right.
And it was going to be playing on College Game Day and like all over ESPN stuff, whatever.
Right.
And
Well, ESPN 8, brother.
yes,
Right.
And so I just submitted these pictures and didn't really think anything of it. And then they contacted me. They're like, "Hey, like we'd love to have you." And I was like, "Oh wow." This was like 2 weeks after like I applied to it, so I didn't even think I got it.
Right.
And then as I'm so excited, I get a call 2 hours later, and it was from a lady now, and she's like, "Hey, just to want to let you know, we're actually going to triple what we're paying you because we want to make sure you show up to this thing.
Right.
Because for some reason, like this kid might get other opportunities. We want to make sure like he's coming to ours."
Right.
And I was like, "This is the only thing I've ever done." Like, obviously, you don't release all your cards, but it's like you're just grateful for that opportunity and like the presence or whatever.
That's insane. So you just took these photos. You didn't have an agent or anything. It was you and John Mott. Did you have professional camera equipment? Was this from an iPhone? How did you?
It was from John's Canon John's Canon camera.
Got it.
So just a very simple camera,
Right.
and with some good edits. And actually, another person was involved in that.
There we
My
go.
friend Christian Bates.
Yes.
He saw the photos and was like, I want to edit these photos.
Oh,
So he edited the
fuck.
photos, and he had like these Nike filters, made it look like a damn Nike ad, and I started submitting those.
Right. What is that, like dark in the background?
It's
or
just
what-
like it just made it pop, like, and it has like a
Right.
swoosh, and it has like a Nike slogan at the top, so it just
I
looked
love that.
real official. And I was like, wow, I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm just gonna use this stuff.
Right.
So they kind of hooked me up on that, which was like amazing. Like I was like,
Right.
wow. And then I got that, so I was like, okay, now I have something of me on video. I have some pictures.
Right.
Worked with some other photographers.
And are you in LA at this point?
I'm still in Boston.
Oh, you're still in Boston.
Yeah,
Okay.
So this is probably, so I graduated in May, and this is in
Yes.
July.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
couple
like
months
about,
later.
a couple months later.
Right.
Started contacting some photographers, like this girl Madeline Adams, who also ran on a track team, and then my friend David Uzalak, who actually took my senior pictures in high school, and they were just so willing to work with me. So these people actually, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gotten all this material
Right.
to build a portfolio that was even presentable to anyone in LA.
Right.
So then, all right.
Maybe it would have passed in Boston, but
Yeah.
not in the LA market, brother. Not in the LA market.
It is hard out here. Oh my gosh. Woo.
Okay, so you get the portfolio together, and then you moved out here for Accenture, and that was kind of a fallback, or what was your mind? What was it? What was in your mind doing?
Yeah, so I
with
was like, okay, I'm gonna do this job at Accenture, but I'm gonna still try to pursue all this other stuff. Like,
Right.
whatever free time I have, I'm just gonna make it work.
Right.
And so I moved out here, applied to some agencies, and 2 agencies brought me in,
Right.
and I signed to one of them, and this was in like the first couple of weeks I was in LA. I was like, shit, I just got signed. I was like, okay,
Right.
now we can get the ball rolling. Signed
There
up for
we
a
go.
bunch of casting websites, and then ended up just like booking. Like my first 2 days into LA, I got asked to be in a Nike commercial with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Paul George.
Holy shit,
And
dude!
I didn't go to it
What?
because I was in Chicago for work.
Oh,
So this is
fuck,
this
okay.
is like a week into LA.
So this is a week in LA. What month is this? Is this?
This is August.
This
So
is
I moved,
August,
I moved
okay.
August 14th, and
August
and I
14th.
got hit up, I think, by Nike like August 23rd.
Damn. And were you thinking, when you got that opportunity to be in that, were you thinking, literally, should I just quit my job, or why did you even stay at Accenture for that?
Because it was like one.
You
it was- it
were
was
you
my
were
main
you
source of
scared?
income.
It was your
Yeah,
main source? Okay.
I was 100% scared because
Totally.
now I have like this massive rent, these car payments, student loans I have to pay. I'm like, all these bills. I'm like, if I just bank it all on this, like this could really come and bite me in the ass.
Right.
So I kept my job
Right.
and missed out on that opportunity, and it kind of sucked.
Right.
For like a month, I'd always, if I didn't, because nothing I got after that, after a month, was like comparable to the name Nike. So I was like, damn,
Right.
like why'd I do this?
Right. Right.
And all this stuff. Like I could have. And the crazy thing is, 2 days before I got the Nike thing, I met LeBron down the street at the local cafe, because he lives in the same town as me during the summer. He lives in Brentwood.
Shit. Oh, Brentwood. Right.
So
on.
it's like
is that were you in this place when you moved here, or is this a newer place?
I moved to this place.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right on.
And so I like shook LeBron's hand, like told him like I went to BC, so it would have been crazy. 2 days later, I would have been working with him after meeting with him.
shit.
So it's like that relationship would have been there.
Right.
It's like oh,
Right.
I saw you 2 days ago.
Right. Seeing someone once at a photo shoot, there's a big difference between that and then seeing them beforehand and then working with them. It's like
Exactly.
it just shifts the dynamic. All of a sudden, you're homies.
That's exactly what it would have been.
Damn,
So,
dude, that's insane.
So that was a little upsetting, but I just
Right.
kept my head up, and I just knew that more opportunities. I pray a lot, so God showed me so many more opportunities. And
Right.
couple weeks after that, booked a commercial. I think my first commercial that I booked was, I think it was with Me Undies, which is just like an
MeUndies.
underwear company.
Right, I used to I had a pair of MeUndies. I bought into the hype, and I was like, "What, I didn't." They were too. I don't know.
Tight.
They're tight.
They're tight. They're tight undies.
They are tight undies, brother. There's too much. I like everything loose. All my clothes are too big.
I feel you. On
You know,
that.
I just let it all. Just let
It's
it all.
like they
kinda-
feel like compression shorts. I would
Right.
say, like I wear them to the gym because like that's the type of feel you're gonna get from them. But
right,
they're great. I mean,
right.
shout out to Me Undies. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And then after the Me Undies commercial, I booked a commercial with like blackpeoplemeet.com, and then I booked a McDonald's commercial, which was just like.
So that one I did see where you were kind of, there's a boombox or something, or you kind of like, you were kind of like,
it was like
crossed
a little
your arms.
5-second part. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like a 1980s rapper pretty much.
Right.
Because they were going through like each decade.
Right.
But, yeah. So that was really cool. And then.
How long were you at Accenture before you said all in or fall in?
How long have I been at Accenture at this point?
Correct. Well, and then when did you
so I started
peace out?
Accenture. I haven't pieced out Accenture yet.
Oh, you're still working there?
Yeah, I'm still working.
Fuck. Okay, right on. Damn,
Yeah.
I just assumed because you're doing so much shit, dude. I thought you pieced out.
Just trying to balance it all.
Damn, how's that? Are you still having to travel with Accenture?
I haven't been lately, which has been nice.
Right.
The project I'm on currently is based out of LA, so
right on.
I don't even have to travel, which is great.
Damn. So you're juggling a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to stay in LA.
Right on. What up? So you mentioned you mentioned God earlier, and I know, just being on the team with you that this is something that that you're pretty upfront about. You know you're not afraid to show that you believe in God and that you pray
everything to Him.
Yeah, right. So are you Christian, Catholic? What's your?
Yeah, I'm Christian, and
Christian.
It's like, but it's just like I just like to go to church. It's like I would go to a Catholic church. Like none of those like boundaries. It's just like as long as I'm in the presence of God and there's a scripture and there's a word and there's the same like-minded people around. That's all. Right. That's all I really need at the end of the day. And
what got you into God? What was
honestly,
it family?
I would say my mother. My family definitely pushed religion on us, like when we were kids, like constantly taking us to church. I used to go to church like 3 times a week, like Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
When I was a kid. So.
Did you go to a Christian or Catholic school?
Yeah, I went to a Catholic school.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
Middle school and high school?
No, that was just in like elementary school.
Got it, elementary.
Yeah,
okay.
Back in elementary days.
Right on.
But yeah, my parents were like, it's like church was, and like we'd always like pray at night together. So it's like I just got in the habit of it. Right. But then as you grow older, you get to make your decisions a little more. And actually strayed away from really religion. I wasn't really like feeling it because like there was just like a lot going on in life that I was just like, you are just so confused by everything, and you're like, God, why would you do this to me? And then you just kind of lose touch with your faith. Right. And I would say the one thing that brought my faith more intact was track, which is why I think I ran track. Right on. Because it was the only like tangible thing that I saw that made me feel close to God. Right. Because I would pray about things at night, see them in dreams, and then they would happen. Right. And it, like, I can't even count. Like when I came into BC, I can confidently, like, it's actually kind of scary because I wrote this down when I was going into BC. My mom was like, "What do you want your goals were? What do you want your goals to be?" And I was like, "I just want to run 47.9. Like, I don't care." Like, it was like 47. Running 47 was like the pinnacle of like what I wanted to do. Right. In my last race in my college career, I ran 47.9.
0.9 what, brother?
0.94.
94. Okay, there we go. Damn, you had a little bit of breathing room there. Okay, so then in high school is when it started to pick back up, and is that when you started running track?
Yeah, I started running track in high school. My main thing was actually basketball and football. Okay. And then track just like ended up stealing my heart. Like it was weird. Because I wanted to play basketball. It's like, if you know me, basketball is my thing. Right.
Do you feel any pressure regarding your religion in terms of, do you feel any judgment? Do you feel any anything like that you kind of have to push back against at all?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I like didn't feel as comfortable talking about like my like beliefs in God, but as I grew older and more appreciative of like what God has done for me, I almost don't even I'm really big on energy, and like
Right.
even if someone who's around me is like atheist or whatever they believe in, and
Sure.
they're talking about their religions, like I would never like push my religion on anyone.
Sure.
And it's just like, if you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe.
Right.
I can tell you why I believe in what I believe. If you don't believe in it, that's completely fine.
Right.
But I don't know if I'd say I'd hang out with like atheists, because it's like,
Hey, dude, we're hanging out right now, brother Beast. Dude, dude, I'm a godless man. Unfortunately, dude. Maybe I'll be swayed. But I hear the no, but what you're saying,
Mhm.
regardless of religion, what you're saying, this notion of I'm gonna visualize, I'm gonna dream, I'm gonna, to me. Yes, for you, you're praying to God, but for me, that isn't even, that's not specific. I don't think that's even specific to any religion. I just think that's a helpful thing that everyone can do.
Mhm.
Visualize,
Facts.
just boom, bam, dream about it, think about it, and just keep that positive feedback loop going, and
Mhm.
amazing things can happen. So I totally vibe with that.
Yeah.
It's all energy at the end of the day, brother.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, people don't remember names, or remember how you make them feel. So if you bring energy into every situation that you are in, you're going to make people feel some type of way, whether that's good or bad. At the end of the day, anyone that I meet, if they don't like me, or if they do like me, they will remember who Obi is, and that's really the stand that I want to make on people. At the end of the day, it's like, I want to be able to see you in 10 years. You haven't seen how I look in 10 years, but the second you realize who I am, you're going to feel either positive vibes or whatever vibes, but you'll feel like
you're Obi and you're here.
Exactly.
Right.
Whereas like some people's presence, you almost don't even notice it.
I totally, that resonates with me so much, because I think people generally have an aversion, especially now, just with the political climate. They have an aversion of saying things that they believe, because they're afraid of what other people think, or even just the approach I kind of take, and I'm curious what you think about this, is even if I only believe something, maybe I believe something 51%, like let's say there's A and B, and I'm not really full, I'm only 51% on A, but at the end of the day, I do believe it over B. I'm going to, in any discussion or in any medium where that topic comes up, I'm going to argue all out on A. I'm going to take a stand, because when you take a stand, it helps other people argue against you, and it helps you grow. So I think I'm a big fan of being assertive. Even it's like the classic strong beliefs weakly held, right? Like, be up in someone's face. Well, not, be up in someone's face. That has a negative connotation. But, let people know what you're thinking. Let them know how you feel. Even if what you're saying turns out, they say something that turns out what you were saying was completely wrong, the very fact that you were assertive and the very fact that you did share that belief, guess what? Now you just improved it because you put yourself out there.
Exactly.
And I think, I totally vibe with that.
And like, regardless, I think it just makes you more real, in the sense that you just, I don't like shy away of what I believe in any regard. Like,
Right.
I'll meet someone like, like God has been so great today, and then it's like some people are like thrown up. I'm like, hey, like, this is like what I believe in. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but it's just like, if you told me what you believe in, I'm not gonna be like, no, that's not like true. It's like your beliefs. Right. It's like your reality is real to you. Like, I don't know your reality at the end of the day. And I was reading this great book. It's actually called the Fourth Amendment, and it just talks about.
Does it talk about the Fourth Amendment?
No, it's.
What is do we know what can we get James? Can we look at what is the Fourth Amendment? I don't even know what the Fourth Amendment is, brother. Oh wow, he's getting the book out.
Oh no! Oh damn! I grabbed the Fifth Amendment.
You grabbed the Fifth Amendment. Wait, there's okay. So what? Regardless, we'll we'll put the Fourth Amendment in the show notes for those that no, we won't. I don't do show notes like that. And whatever. listen to the whole thing and write it down as we say it. Okay, so go on though.
But yeah, the book pretty much talks about really. It talks the Four Amendments are almost like agreements. So when you're a kid, it talks about how just like your reality shapes your perception on life. And one of the examples that they included was a little girl when she grows up with a single mom. The little girl's crying all the time. And the mom just like gets a headache from it all the time. But this girl has a beautiful voice, but she just cries all the time. She's little. And one day her mom flips out on her and it's like, shut up, like you're so loud. So now this little girl thinks her voice is ugly. So now she becomes shy, insecure. And now if anyone tells her she's loud, she doesn't want to sing. She doesn't want to talk. But this little girl has one of the most beautiful voices, but no one will ever know because she agreed to it that she had an ugly voice from what, like her mom's reaction, other people's subtle reactions when she was a kid that shaped her own reality. And she has agreed to herself that she has a bad voice. Right. When if she sang, you'd be like, oh my gosh, like, is that Jesus? Like, wow, that girl can sing. So, I think the book pretty much talks about agreements and what you really like your beliefs. And one of the main things that they say is like, believe in yourself and like believe in all your dreams. So it's like don't be afraid to tell yourself that you're great. It's like, damn, like you should 100% believe that. If you're gonna be the next Will Smith or Denzel, like you got to tell yourself, I am great. Like, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Exactly. It is. What is that? That's in God. What's that basketball movie? That guy some high school basketball movie. But he says there's some poem about. Basically, I wish I could save you on this. Yeah, no. But it's basically like we are afraid not because we think we are weak, but we are afraid because we all have so much potential, and that potential is scary because we know we can do big things, and that makes you feel pressure. So I think totally. I'm curious about, have you gotten any? Anytime you put yourself out there, especially in the way that you are doing it, in terms of modeling and putting images of yourself out there and being very kind of just the nature of that industry. It's about it's showing yourself and putting yourself out there. I'm curious, have you gotten any pushback from friends or family or people being like, yo, what are you doing, dude, or anything like that? Yeah. So a lot, it happened a lot in Boston, like when I first really started doing it. Sure. And that's what really turned me off about a lot of my friends, or just like the people that I was surrounding myself with. And I remember I put up like a couple of these like pictures of like the photo shoots I did. By the way, we before I forget, on Instagram, that's Obi Nwankwo. That is OBI_NWANKWO. Let me just say, Obi, you have an amazing body. Thank you. You are, dude. Are you, dude? It's I be putting in work in the gym. You've been putting in work, dude. It is. Gotta check it out on the Insta. Yeah, gotta check it out. Don't worry. We'll be posting a link to the Instagram for sure. But okay, so I interrupted you to compliment you, but you mentioned in Boston. Yeah, no, of course, brother. You mentioned people. You're getting some pushback. Yeah. So I just put up these modeling pictures and like people were texting me and stuff like that, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, I'm gonna go to LA and be a model. Like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this and like be in commercials. And like, people would like laugh like whenever I see them out, like, okay, model boy, like you, and all this stuff. I was like, okay, like, and the one thing that I'll never do is I'm never gonna let someone else's opinion shape my reality. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, that's what you believe in, that's what you've agreed to. But at the end of the day, you can't listen to the masses. You can't listen
Right.
because 90% of the world. Oh my God, sorry. Sorry.
No, all good, brother. All good. Dude, let it, dude. I love it. I love it, dude. Let it out. 90% of the world.
Yeah, so 90% of the world are consumers, 9% are creators, and 1% of the world are curators. So
Okay.
90% of the world is consuming what 10% of the world is really creating at the end of the day. So
Right.
if you're going to listen to the masses, and there's nothing wrong with the 9-to-5 jobs. There's nothing wrong.
Right.
It's stable. But at the end of the day, I don't really want to.
Right.
I don't want to work
Yes.
for someone at the end of the day. So,
Right.
and I just want to do what makes me happy. And I think after being in college, like I always felt that I had to like get this like 9-to-5 job, or like
Sure.
I had to do this stuff. I'm doing it, but it's like that. I wouldn't say that's like my plan for the future. And that the culture in Boston is very corporate, so I almost
Right.
didn't see anything outside of that. I was like, well, everyone's doing it, like because
Right.
I was listening to everyone,
Right.
and like then really once I started talking to people like my roommate Luke Schefter, like who him and my good friend Joe Corey they're both from my hometown, started their own business, iRolly. And it's
Wait, did Luke? Did he go to BC?
Yeah, he went to BC.
Is Luke? He's the he had the brown hair baby face.
Yeah,
Dude,
6'4".
Is he? Wait, is he 6'4"?
Oh, he's 6'4". I saw him like 3 weeks ago.
Wait, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
No,
he had the baby face.
Yeah, Luke.
I don't remember him being that tall though. He's tall.
In college. He was like 6'1", 6'2", but he was tall.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
6'4" now.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
Oh, Luke was, I loved that guy, dude. I didn't really, the only time I saw him, I'm pretty sure it was when he was just plastered. So I never really like, I never really, I didn't really know him that well, but I just knew, it goes back to your energy, what you were talking about, dude. His energy was just always, I was always like,
contagious.
Contagious, dude. Okay. I love that. So he was rubbing off on you.
Yeah, and he was, and in the sense that him and my friend Joe had no interest in working for anyone out of college. Like
Yes.
they're like, no, we're gonna do this business, and
Yes.
the business is doing very, very well. Like I
Yes.
can't give exact numbers because
Sure.
Luke told me not to. But
Sure.
damn, Luke is one of the highest paid kids in our class of 2017.
Oh fuck, dude!
Yeah.
Damn, dude!
I would say Luke.
Right.
Yeah, I would say Luke is outside of the kids who are like playing sports. Like my boy John. Shout out to John the Rams. He's killing it.
Damn, LA Rams, baby.
Exactly.
Right.
I would say Luke is and like people don't really know that, and it's like
Right.
it's like I remember people also making fun of Luke. Like when
Yes.
like you're not. What are you doing after college? Just I'm doing this iRolly thing, and just to
Right.
see people's responses and stuff. People would even say to me like, "Bro, like Luke's like really doing that." I'm like, "Yeah, because he's gonna make it." Like you're doubting this kid, but
Totally.
you're only mad because you're conforming to the 9-to-5 job, and he's going outside
Right.
of what you believe in, what you think is the only way to make it. So
Right.
I remember during the summer, Luke has always been another person who's 100% supported me. Like when I told him, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this modeling stuff. I'm gonna work with like Nike, Adidas,
That is
and stuff like that."
Silenced. There we go.
Yeah.
Right on.
And work with these brands.
Right.
And I told him like I'd pray about it, and I saw it. I was like I've already seen myself like doing this stuff.
Right.
And he was just like 100% supportive. But
Right.
back to the people in Boston.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely did get a lot of shit. The shit has kind of swindled, like definitely.
Oh damn.
yeah,
Okay. Right.
And now the same people who are shitting on me are like asking to like visit.
They're asking to have you on their podcast, dude. No, dude, I didn't. Well, the funny thing is, I didn't even fucking know, like this stuff. I mean, it was just totally epic, dude. Just blindsided, like holy shit, like coming out of nowhere, like, oh, I was excited actually that you were moving to LA, and I was like, oh, sick, okay, LA. So I'll probably, because I'm gonna be moving to Northern California soon, so I'll have someone
for your best self-interest.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, and then but yeah, like I said, dude, like I said, you started posting these photos. I was like, holy shit, this guy's all in on it. Like, but yeah, dude. So okay, so that's interesting. You notice that there's been a little bit of a shift in people that are starting to, say, oh, dude,
It's just like let's
go clubbing in LA now, dude.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a little more love than it was before.
Sure.
But honestly, it's just like when someone comes at you like that early on and just like tries to kind of crush your dreams and put their negativity on you.
Right.
Even when they reach out after that, it almost makes you think of them different. At the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to show nothing but love, but the most limited resource on this earth is time. So it's like,
totally.
And this is just a judgment, or this is just a tip for everyone.
Right.
Not everyone deserves your time. And
yes,
because those years, these months, you're never going to get them back. So not everyone is 100% worthy of your time.
Right.
And you really have to be associating yourself with people who are your same frequency. Have you ever talked to someone, and this is not to make fun of people who are less intelligent, but have you ever talked to someone who wasn't as intelligent as you? You're not on the same frequency, like the way you use language or the topics you talk about. But when you talk to someone who's as educated or more educated than you can there's that vibe and that frequency.
Sure.
That's the same thing that goes with when you're associating with anyone and you're spending your time with them. If this person's not worth your time, you guys aren't in the same frequency. Your visions, your dreams, what you aspire to be, like so much more in this earth.
Right.
If they don't aspire to be that, then like you can't really be wasting your time, because you end up becoming the people your surroundings. Like,
right. You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself
exactly.
with the most. That's right.
So it's like you want to surround yourself with people who think and dream big, and I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is really like, because people who don't have those dreams or aspirations, or who are negative, that will actually hurt you at the end of the day, because that's hurting your energy. And at the end of the day, if you're the most successful, yeah, exactly how you're saying you're the best, you're the best out of the average of like your 5 or whatever, you said that. But I always use this weird analogy, and this is not to bring up the president or anything, but people are like, why do you think Donald Trump still does business, or like tries to still get all this money? I'm like, bro, one of Donald Trump is worth $2 billion. One of his best friends, Vladimir Putin, is worth $900 billion. So you think Donald Trump, like,
first of all, I need to fact check this. There's no way Putin is worth $900 billion, brother. He's
$200 billion. $200
billion. Okay, this guy $1 trillion, almost $1 trillion. He's more valuable than Apple. Okay, but anyway,
$200 billion. $200 billion.
Okay,
so I was thinking straight.
Yeah. No. All good.
So Donald Trump has 1% of what Putin has. So you think Donald Trump's going to stop hustling to try to grind that money? But if Donald Trump was hanging, this is just like very broad way to think of it. But you think if Donald Trump was hanging out with people who are like make $10, $100 million, you might not have that same grind, because he's like, shit, I already got it all. So it's like, that's how you can look at your friend group. Like you could be the highest paid person in your friend group, but then you step into another circle with people who are like making it. You're like, damn, it forces you to work harder, because you want to be on their same level and their same frequency as I was saying before.
Right. So it seems like you're placing a lot of emphasis on the cash, though, Brother Beast.
I was just using that as like an
example.
Easy way to like visualize it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
so it could be.
It doesn't necessarily mean cash. But it
could be cash, could be intelligent, it could be whatever metric it is. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's all about the energy and really what your aspirations are.
Totally. So something I want to one thing I do, you mentioned people kind of giving you shit when you were first starting out. I think the way I think about that is when people are kind of are negative or putting you down, it says 10 times more about them than it does about you, right? Mm-hmm. This is something that they feel the need to spend energy on putting you down. So that means that they've got something bottled up that is kind of that they need to deal with. So I try to look at that as benign as possible. When when someone's kind of getting in your face, it's like, okay, well, they're probably, it's almost sad because they're probably just going internally.
Yeah.
However they're making you feel, they feel worse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
it actually even pushed me even more because
the haters, brother, the haters push.
God.
Oh, you love haters.
Yeah.
Oh,
because,
you love. haters.
just from like college and like whenever I'd get injured every season, I was like, oh, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna set that record and be like, bro, you've gotten injured 2 seasons in a row. Like you're about to get cut by Curb.
Right. Hey, that's Coach Curb, brother. He's a listener of the podcast, brother.
Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, nice.
Right. But my Luke would always just like, he'd be like, bro, like you are crazy, in the sense that whenever someone would say like something like I can get motivated in the easiest way. One of my friends, I ran the other day and I posted like what I ran my mile in. It was like 6:50. I was just going out for a nice casual run.
Right.
And this kid one of my friends who's not as athletic as me, sends me a picture of his mile time that he ran that morning. He's like, I ran 6:35. I'm faster than you. Like, I was like, so you know what I did? I put my workout clothes back on and I ran outside and I ran like a 5:40 mile and sent it right back to him.
God damn. Wait, first of all, how do we verify the times? You just took
I had them on my phone.
You had
it tells you the time and it tells you the route you took.
Okay.
It tells you
so you're dropping
on the Nike Run app.
The Nike Run app, so it's official.
So you can't fake it.
So you're running sub 6 on the streets of LA is what you're telling me?
Oh yeah. Flying. So this was after I ran, worked out in the gym for an hour and a half, and then got the text. Had to put the workout clothes back on.
I love it. So you have a competitive fire. We know that. I'm curious, does it ever make you feel restless? Does it ever make you feel like, that you're always chasing the next thing, and never kind of being settled or kind of satisfied in the moment? Or how do you balance that? Because to me, that is the single hardest thing about being a human. It's appreciating what you have, but at the same time trying to go get that next thing. It's a balancing act. How do you balance it?
Yeah, that actually is actually very difficult, because that's something that I think I've struggled with, like
totally.
Because I remember when I was first out here, and like I had a lot more time because I was working from home, so you know, and I could kind of like be able to do things a little more freely, whereas like when you're in the office, like you don't do as much, and like I was just getting all these opportunities and I was able to do them, and then I was just kind of taking anything that came and go. And like I just remember because I was just getting so much, I was never appreciative of like, oh, word, I'm getting all these gigs, these commercials, these modeling jobs, like this is dope. But then when I started working a lot and I couldn't do a lot of them, it made me realize like, wow, like when I was doing all that, I was networking and making connections, but I could have done more. Like I could have done more. I could have connected with maybe the directors more, or like really been out there more, which I was, but I might have met a couple people. I'm like, oh, okay, these people are cool. Let me cultivate these connections with them. Whereas like looking back on it, I was like, wow, like I didn't really live in that moment. And like because now like I've been working a lot, so it's like I kind of pick and choose gigs based off like how great the company is and stuff like that, and how big of an opportunity is. Whereas like I won't just take the small stuff, because I'm not going to skip work for that. Right. It's got to be like it's got to be worth your time.
Yeah, totally. So first of all, we got to mention the you do have a YouTube channel. You have some videos up there. Is that, but that video, so Obi has there's a Post Malone Rockstar parody video.
Yes.
Where you're playing the part of, you're playing 21 Savage in that,
yes.
right?
21.
Yeah. So that's got 7.5 million views. I'm curious, how did you get jacked into whose YouTube channel? That's Ben Harp.
His name's Bart Baker. Yeah,
Bart Baker. That's it.
He does a lot of celebrity parodies. One of his like Justin Bieber parodies he did got almost 50 million views.
Right.
On YouTube, but
and how'd you get jacked into that?
Yeah, so he had a casting and he was looking for a guy who looked like 21 Savage. So I sent a picture in, and they contacted me a couple days later, and I shot.
You're better looking than 21 Savage.
Yeah,
brother.
I know.
21 Savage got enough. Nice. I would hope so. Nice.
And yeah, it was great working with him. Got some like great insight on him. He has great energy, and it makes sense exactly why he's successful, because he works hard. Like he's very talented, and people don't realize how much time like when you see a YouTube video, because you're seeing it in one sequence, a 3-minute video, you don't realize how much time. That took us like 12 hours on set with like a legit production crew to make.
But it was 1 day of filming?
Yeah, it was 1 day of filming.
1 day, 12-hour day. Damn.
Yeah. And with like a legit production crew, like the cameras probably cost tens of $1,000s like that.
Right.
But it's like when you're watching, you're like, oh, he probably just like did this, but it's like he had a budget that he was working with, and he made that thing happen, and it came out dope. So I really thank him for that, because that definitely opened a lot of opportunities, and really it was like the first like viral thing that I did, which was kind of cool.
Right. And we were riffing on a little bit about this before we started recording, but I'm curious, being black in the entertainment industry in LA, is that something you even think about, being black? Does it come up, or is it just I'm out here doing my thing and it's not something that I think about or that really even is a factor?
Yeah, it's I really enjoy being black in LA. I don't like.
I love that.
Like
I really enjoy being black in LA. I love that.
I really like it. Like, I don't know what it is about LA, but people really love. I wouldn't say people really love black people. I would say people really love black aspirational guys. Like black guys with aspirations and dreams, and in the sense that they're just like they just want to be around you. Like, I don't know, it's just like everyone just wants to have that one cool black friend, and like for some reason like everyone just wants multiple of them in LA. And but I think right now there's definitely been a change in the entertainment industry, whereas minorities are definitely becoming more represented. Companies are trying to be more diverse. So before, when you used to watch commercials, TV, blah, 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 you wouldn't really see black people in the commercials. But now in every commercial, there's at least one black guy in like a supporting role. He might not be the lead, but there's gonna be a black guy in there, and because you have to represent everyone, because no one wants to watch something that they can't feel a connection to. Right. So it's opened a lot more. It's opened a lot more doors, which has been nice, and they're really trying to represent minorities in a positive manner. And I think the movie Black Panther definitely, not only for black people, but for the African culture, because there's this negative skepticism about what Africa is. Sure. And Black Panther was like the first big blockbuster movie that showed Africa in like a positive light, like, and just showed like the beauty of it, and like how great, like the fact that Marvel did that, like it just like it made me like just like so happy. I was like, wow, like this is. For me, I've never seen a superhero who's like black, like besides besides like Frozo, but it's like Mr. Incredible is the main guy. It's like, wow, like the Black Panther was the main
interesting
guy.
I love that point you brought up with not seeing black superheroes. Is that something? Would you think so you mentioned some of your role models. I think you mentioned Will Smith and some other athletes. Were you ever thinking and seeing media and saying, thinking to yourself, I'm not seeing many black people, I want to get into that industry and do something about that? Or was that not really crossed your mind?
It was just like more like I never really like I mean I felt like I was seeing like a lot of like black people in films, but it was films like black films like Tyler Perry.
Sure.
So it's like you knew there were going to be black people in there. So
Right.
I always thought it was weird that like I almost just got accustomed to seeing only white people in films, and like
Right.
so
Because just the whole notion of, oh, this is a black film, that it's like you wouldn't say, oh, this is a white film.
exactly
Like, there should,
it's just a film.
Right. It's just a film. Right. Okay. So I totally I understand where you're coming from there. Did you So you mentioned being black in LA. Did you have a different experience with Boston, or is there a difference there, or not really?
Living in LA made me notice that. So when a lot
it's that New England racism, brother.
yeah,
That's okay.
Like shit, like
Sure.
people in Boston are like a little low key racist.
Sure.
I don't even know how low key it is anymore. But
Sure.
yeah, it's like I can't say I've been in many uncomfortable conversations regarding like the color of my skin in LA.
Right.
Whereas like that came out frequently in Boston, just like having to like. It would almost be stressful for me to like be in a room filled of white people and a rap song comes on, because I'm like, someone just please do not say the N-word. Like I'm having a good, and like people don't realize like I would stress out about that, like, and it's just like that's stuff that people don't really have to deal with, but I had to deal with that. And it's like I never really told many people, but it's like, damn, it's just subconsciously you're chilling, because quite frankly, I mean, I went to Boston College, majority white school, and I grew up in the suburbs in a majority white town.
Yep.
So a lot of the people I hung out with were white, and it was just like for years, like I was just like, I'd just be so stressed. I'm like, oh, like, or like when someone says, I'm like, and they're like, yo, my bad, bro. I'm just like, shit, like I'm having too good of a day. Like I really don't even want to argue, and you just kind of settle with like, oh, it's cool. But
so they're saying they would say something that was
racist,
and then say, oh, my bad, bro. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that just takes you out of the day, and you're just like, God, fuck.
It's like I don't really want to deal with this, and it's like,
Right.
and then some days, imagine you're having a bad day, and someone drops that. It's like, damn, like you're only human.
Sure.
Yeah, I flip out. Like so, it's. Balancing that was it definitely sucked, and I didn't really notice it. I almost became immune to it. It's like something that you know I just knew I was going to deal with. And when I came to LA, like people just aren't really like that. People are very like conscious of like what they say like around like people, because LA is one of those cities you never know who people know.
Right.
And it's like people don't even like the most unassuming people could be some of the most powerful people. Like. Just like chilling, and so it's like people are just more caring, thoughtful of it. Like no one's this. I can comfortably say I haven't really faced like much discrimination like out here, whereas like I did in Boston.
Right on. I think you touched on something which is extremely important. That's that I think a lot of people will. A lot is probably an exaggeration. There's a group of people that has, that believes in the narrative that, listen, black people aren't discriminated against. There's no laws against them. There's no, we have things like affirmative action and things like this. What I think the big piece that's missing in that is sure, there's no laws in the books discriminating against any race in the United States. But what I think people will forget about, it's the little battles at the dinner table. It's the little battles in a social environment that there doesn't have to be a cop there or a judge or anything. It doesn't need to be this official thing, but that's where that is part of the battlefield, just regular social interactions that you as a black man have to deal with that.
Exactly. And like there's just like little stuff like even like walking down the street. I mean like I'm a tall guy, like so like I kind of understand, but like
tall strong guy too, brother.
Tall strong guy.
Yeah,
so it's like
big strong guy
strutting down the street, and
sure.
so like girls that I'll see, they're like they'll like hold their bag, like blah blah. So it's like
really,
I
okay.
almost am conditioned now that I don't even like making eye contact with like females on the street that I
Sure.
don't know, because like I don't want to like even like give them that fear or
Right.
like whatever they're feeling even though they don't know me, whatever they're
Right.
feeling towards me. I don't even like want to like bring that energy like to see someone grab a hold of their bag just because I'm walking past them. It's like,
Right.
damn, that like fucks up my day a little bit. It's like, damn, I'm in a suit, like I'm dressed nice, and this person still feels like
Right.
intimidated just by my presence. They don't even know that, like, if they actually, be like, oh, hey, sir, like, hey, I'm Obi, and I'd love to learn about your day, or just like give you some positivity to make your day better. Like,
Right.
but they would never know that.
Right.
So it's like, that's just like a little weird thing that I didn't really notice until like one of my friends I was walking down the street with, he's like, why are you looking at the ground? I was like,
Really?
I was like, I just wasn't trying to make eye contact with her, but
Right.
he's white, but he didn't. He's like, he looked right at her.
Right.
I was like, I just do that kind of like without really thinking about it.
Right. Wow. Well, I really appreciate you opening up about that, because I think it's really important to have conversations like this, and it's just I think it's a blind spot for, like I said, a lot of people that don't, they look at the laws, they look at these, they look at things like that, and they fail to ignore people's just everyday walking down the street experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's I think it's a tough thing, especially for many people, because I mean, as a white man, I can't relate to that. Like, I can't even. That's just something that's not. It's just
you
not.
don't go through it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't go through it. It's definitely. I think it's a blind spot for a lot of people, and when something's a blind spot, it's harder to. It's much easier to empathize when you've gone through something. So when you just completely not relate to something, it makes. I think it makes the conversation that much harder to have, and maybe even make put your head in the ground and say, what do you what are you talking about? There's black people aren't discriminated against. It's like, okay, well, talk to a black person and ask them, okay, how is this?
Which is what people fail to do. It's
right.
Like they just kind of assume everything's cool.
Well, and dude, to be honest, I can't even to call myself. I can't even think. I don't know if I've ever actually had a conversation like this. I mean, maybe once or twice, but I've never been. At the very least, I've never been. I've never kind of been. It's never really been an intention. Like, okay, I want to ask this person, ask them their experience. And yeah, I think like you said, I think more people need to do that for sure.
And I think people would be shocked by like the answers that they get, like how some of like their friends are like feeling, and like that's why like my friend Luke is
Right.
like my like best friend, because
Right.
he like asked like all the time, like, bro, like, how did that make you feel? Like, it's
Right.
like he always wanted to know my perspective,
Right.
and like that's why I think he's like gonna be just so successful, and just not only in business, but just being able to communicate with people. Like, Luke can talk to anyone.
He can, dude.
He can talk to anyone.
He can.
And, like, he wants to know about like how certain situations make other people feel, because he's a white male. He's like, he has a baby face, so it's like he doesn't go through that intimidate. Like, no one's intimidated by Luke.
Right.
So it's like he doesn't face like any of that stuff. So he just like is so curious and wants to know for his own personal self, so he doesn't make people feel that way. And he's one of those people that I've never felt any type of like racism or just like any judgment in regard, or felt uncomfortable about my race around him. Like,
Right.
It's crazy. Like, I would almost like think he's like black, because he just like understands. Like,
right.
It's weird.
No, because you're that comfortable. I totally get that. I think there's a lot of parallels between having a conversation, with a black person, with a minority, and having a conversation with a woman about their experience with sexual assault or sexual advances. I mean, here we are, a couple dudes about to talk about the Me Too movement without having a woman on. But I'm just saying, I just see parallels there, because the women I've spoken to, listen, in the workplace, I don't see it. I don't see. I mean, I don't see it in my workplace. I don't really see it out and about. It's not something I see. So it's very easy for me to think, oh wow, it doesn't happen. But as soon as you just start talking to, just ask a woman, ask them, and it's crazy. Like some of the, it's pretty clear. Some of them are like, I don't even want. It happens all the time. I don't even want to talk about it. Like they're not even trying to push. It's not about an agenda. Some of them, they're just like, I don't even want to. It's just, yes, it happens all the time. It's annoying as fuck. And,
even imagine being like one of the few women, like an all male dominant.
I work in tech, brother.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah. It's definitely male. We'll be at a team lunch or sometimes, or we'll be in a meeting, and I'll just look around, and there's one woman, and I'm just like, for a split second, I'm like, damn, I wonder, like, what is that? Are they thinking like, they must be thinking a little bit like, damn, look at all these dudes around me. Yeah, totally. That's,
look at all these dudes.
look at all these dudes around me. I mean, it's definitely a thing. Okay. Here's what I want to ask you. We start, winding down here, and that is, what's next? What's your plan? Are you going to be in LA for very long? What are your goals?
Yeah, so the plan. So next, I'll start off with the next couple projects, and then I'll go into the plan.
Perfect.
For the future. So the next couple projects, just God pray that I get this Adidas project. So
right. Yes, absolutely.
Working with Adidas would be great. I'm shooting a feature film this upcoming week, and the cast is great for the film. We just actually had a table read at my house yesterday. So table read is just like pretty much reading the script with the cast. Right.
Wait, something I just realized. So you have your full-time job. You have to keep your body in peak shape, and then on top of that, you're also going to all these casting stuff, and on top of that, you got the No Gradient podcast coming in and hounding you for time. So it's like you gotta, dude. That is, mad respect.
I also started my own business as well. So I'm actually doing like some of my freelance consulting and marketing.
Okay,
and
right
also,
on.
Managing some athletes, some NFL players, some
people in
the entertainment industry. But yeah,
damn, right on. Where
juggling a lot.
So first of all, where can people find out more about that? Is that just canned?
So so right now we're kind of building the website and the company. Me and my sisters started it. So it's called the 88 Agency. 88 just stands for completion. Everything that I do, I'm going to complete it to the fullest of our amount.
Right.
So at the end of the day, the agency is just going to complete everyone who's in it, in the sense that we're going to fulfill everything that you need.
Right.
So
I love that. Okay, so dude, with all this shit you're juggling.
That's the first time I've ever said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the motto for the agency right there.
Yes. Hey, dude, we're honored that you just dropped that on the No Gradient podcast here. So you're juggling all these things. Do you have any? You must be we've talked about this. You must be extremely intentional with your time. Do you have any kind of hacks or ways that you are very efficient with your time? Like maybe do you put your phone away, or do you get up at a certain time, you have breakfast, and how do you kind of structure your day to be able to fit all this stuff in?
So I like writing things down.
Yes.
I think writing things down makes, you definitely, there was actually a study, I think it was 43 or 44%. You're 43, let's just go with 44%.
Let's just go with 88.
88. Oh,
right.
40.
Right.
So you're 44% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down on a consistent basis.
Right.
Which is just a staggering number that if you just consistently writing down a goal, it's most likely going to happen. Like it's actually crazy what the power of the mind can do. It's like you consistently see something, and that was the one thing, like with track, like Luke, there was at one point at the end of the season. This is shout out to Nick Nash because you pushed me harder than anyone
There
else.
we go,
So
Nick Nash, baby.
Nick
Right.
Nash. And
Right on.
I wrote down the number 47.9 so many times that I knew it was going to happen because I didn't want anything else more than that.
Right.
Like, and that's just like, you just got to write things down.
That is though so fucking legendary. You just hit 47.9, 47.9, 47.9. You were thinking about that in high school.
High school.
And your last fucking race
Ever.
you do it. That is, dude, that just gives me,
It was
that.
chills. It was chills for me. It was chills for my mom because you sound crazy if no one else saw it. So it was like when I told my mom, she's like, "Wait, what? You wrote that down?
Right.
Like, you wrote that down like 5 or 6 years ago."
That is
like,
so.
like when
that
you
is
were running
beautiful.
like 51 point like in high school or 50
Right.
points. So it was always my goal, and like
Right.
that's probably was one of the proudest moments like of my life. Like
Totally.
yeah, it was great.
So you mentioned, okay, so you got this Adidas thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then
Right.
this future film I'm playing a guy named Sebastian. It's actually going to be the first time I ever take off my shirt for a film. It's actually my first film.
I saw this. I think it was this on Facebook or something. You said, "Okay, Coachella was good. It's time to get back. Hit the gym. I'm about to take my shirt off on a feature film. I need to look good."
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
right on.
So it's like you have your fun, but then you got to get right back to work. Like
Right.
After it was my birthday, so I went to Coachella and then I went to Vegas.
So you're 24?
23.
23. Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
And then I was like, all right, had fun. 2 days. I did 2 days for the next 5 days. I was running and working out. And then, I ended up working out 3 times a Sunday because, some people like to challenge me. And
Right.
That's all I need.
Right. Right. So that feature. So this is where's this going to be released?
So, this film could go a lot of ways.
Okay.
So it's going to be submitted to a lot of festivals, and there's a big chance a major production company is going to pick it up. I can't really say. I can't say who.
Hey, all good.
But it's one that everyone knows.
Let's
just
okay, got it. Universal Studios, got it. Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's how many? What's the deal? You're taking your shirt off. Do you have any lines?
Yeah, I
Beast.
have. So it's about an 80-page script, and I'm in 14 out of 18. So it's like I got a lot of lines.
Right.
Yeah,
right on. Right on.
on.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
those are the next 2 projects. We got this Adidas. We got this feature film coming. What is 2 years, 3 years? What is that?
2 years, 3 years. So
what's kind of the big pic? Give me the big picture. Give me the Obi big picture.
At the end of the day, it's like I just want to be an industry giant. Like I want to think what people don't realize, guys like Jay-Z. Jay-Z manages people. Jay-Z manages people like Meek Mill, people who are that big.
Right.
So when Meek Mill, you consider Meek Mill really rich,
Right.
and Jay-Z manages him. So that. At the end of the day, it's I not only want to excel in what I'm doing, but I want to help other people excel. And that's why I started this agency and this consulting business, because I was like, wow, I think when you work so hard, just consistently all the time, you almost forget the knowledge you obtain at that point, whereas it just becomes ingrained in you, whereas you're not appreciative of it, or you're not living in the moment. But then it took me talking to some people, and they're like, bro, you really know a lot about this stuff, just being able to market. It's I actually did marketing for Coca-Cola in college, just randomly, and just a bunch of other companies, and I kind of did a lot of that stuff.
It's in your blood.
Yeah, and it's I kind of didn't really, just because I always did it, I never really thought of being able to monetize it, and then until someone really put the idea in my head. So at the end of the day, I want to build this this agency. I want to campaigns for Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein. Those are the dreams. Being a lead on my own TV show, starring in a major future film, and just really doing everything, being one of the main guys next to whoever it is, like LeBron James, like in a Nike commercial, and like it's just like it's like LeBron James and Obi Nwankwo, not just a guy. That's Obi Nwankwo.
Right.
So it's like I wanted my name to mean something at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, dude, just talking to you, it's contagious, because anytime you see someone kind of doing something, like I saw on Facebook, you know, that when you were starting to do this stuff, I was like, oh, like, interesting. Like, okay, that's kind of cool that he's going to LA and kind of he's just getting caught up. And like, I was like, oh man, he's getting caught up in it over there. Like, yeah, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, he's just gonna become famous and stuff. But dude, talking to you and just hearing, like, yeah, dude, I'm long, Obi, dude. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited, dude.
That's a 5 days term for
dude.
y'all.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Seriously, come on, dude. They're not on our intelligence level, dude. No, I'm not insulting the audience. I love you guys. Yeah, dude. But dude, you're getting me. You're getting my juices flowing, dude. And
exactly.
Dude, I love it. You're doing your thing, and dude, thanks for your time, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this, and I just want to last words of thought is
yes,
for everyone, go into everything you do with energy, in the sense that put your best all into everything you do. You never know what opportunity might come out of something, and any connection you make, cherish that connection, because you never know when you might need that person. Like, it could be the most random thing. Like, I've gotten opportunities from like the most random people, like the most unassuming people. So always make sure you make a great first impression, because a first impression is something that you only get once. So you might as well make it good. Like, it makes no sense to make a bad impression on someone, whether you like it or not. It's like, if you don't like someone, treat them well.
Right.
And just because you don't want anyone to put bad on your name. So it's like, cherish your name and who you are and your brand. You yourself as a person is your brand. So always want to make your brand look good. Like, like Nike doesn't put out bad clothes because they want people to talk. Put Nike in a good perspective. Just like why would you want to put out anything bad about you that's ruining your brand? And that's not good for you. So that's just my last message.
I love that, because whether you like it or not, we're all marketing ourselves at the end of the day.
Exactly.
When you say hello, when the words come out of your mouth, you may, maybe you're not thinking about it, but at the end, we're all a billboard for ourselves.
Exactly.
Billboardforyourself.com. That's Obi's gonna spin that off in a $1 billion enterprise.
Let's do it.
Obi, brother beast, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, bro.
Excited to see what you do, brother.
Let's go.
Let's go.